What's going on, YouTube gang? It's your boy. I got you with another video. It's been a minute. Just giving you a little update, of owning a Scatpack. First thing I'll say is it's amazing. Like, this is I would say, average man supercar, right? So, and I know I say supercar lightly, but anyone that says 485 horsepower isn't fast hasn't really driven in a Scatty. Yeah, there's other cars that are faster, but this thing moves. When you want it to move, it moves, right? So like everyday driving, on the highway, even just, back roads, whatever, it moves. Also, it's a misconception. Yeah, it's not the best corner monster, but listen, for what it is, it's great. It's better than my 300 I had. And some other cars I had and owned. It definitely moves. So that's that. As far as the looks, again, there's every car. It could be a Corvette. It could be Porsches. This car stands out, and it has. So it definitely has a presence amongst those higher tier cars that are more expensive. One, because it's unique. So I got a little shaker, so it stands out amongst others, right? Going to a car show, and I can pop the hood. I have just as many people walking up to my vehicle as others, right? It's unique. It's it's an outlier amongst the crowd, right? Yeah, it doesn't have all the fancy bells and whistles, but that 392 cubic inch Hemi, listen, it's a sight to behold. You know what I mean? So that's another thing there. Now, being conscious, yeah, it does burn gas, but it's not as bad as some may lead on, right? If you're driving, like a demon with your head cut off, it's gonna burn gas. It's a sports car or muscle car, right? So it's going to burn gas. So you just gotta be aware of that and make sure you have the funds to, make sure, you have gas in the tank. And like when you get to this level, the prices rise. Now oil is not as expensive, but when you think about tires and other things, just be aware that it definitely is not it's not a Honda Civic, so it's going to cost a little bit more to maintain, upkeep, but it's not going to be luxury car prices, to fix certain things. Now certain things are like these Brembos are expensive. There's no cutting that corner. There's no getting around that. They're expensive, but with this much horsepower, you want those brakes to stop this car, right? That's just some of the things. Just everyday driving, like I said, it has its presence so many times. Now you're not gonna get, like I said, like a Lamborghini or even a Corvette C8 attention, because it's still, like, you'll get a lot of people that say, "Hey, nice car, man. That's a nice car, nice ride." Whether old, young, it doesn't matter, right? Because it stands out. It's mean looking. It's aggressive. It's muscular. So you're gonna get that praise from others. But other times you can just be chilling. But it definitely stands out. You can't hide it. No matter where you're at, it's going to stand out. Got a nice color. Got the little octane red paint, so definitely a nice little sheen to it. That brake dust is a real thing, because it's making sure you have some funds in your budget to make sure that you keep the car clean if you want it to be presentable and utmost. So but as far everyday use, to me, it's one of the best everyday muscle cars / sports cars that you can buy, where it has enough room in the trunk, has a back seat that's usable. I have all the bells and whistles. I got heat and cooled seats. I got everything. Even got cruise control on this if you want to use it. You don't necessarily need a Hellcat, right? Hellcat, yes. Would you love to have a Hellcat? Of course. I mean, just for bragging rights, 700 over 700 horses, that's something that's, you know, might not be seen for a while, you know, unless you're spending 150 plus, but for the price they offer it at, it's a great deal. But even this, when you look at other cars in the segment that are just as fast, you got what, the GT, Mustang GT, the new one, even like ones that are faster, it costs more, right? It costs more than this car. And now I know the prices in Scats have risen up, but it's because there was a high demand for this car, and dealers know that, so they'll try to capitalize. So my advice is to just wait. There's a lot of misconception. There's nothing wrong with getting a used one, right? Just make sure you do your due diligence, search up the car history, make sure you're buying it from reputable person, dealer, whatever, so you're not getting into a bad deal where the engine or there's major things wrong with the car. There are some things to note though, like when I did get this car, there's a known issue with the water pump, so that's another thing. Like, it was fine, then it started making some noise, so I had to replace that. But that's the only real thing I had to replace on this car, was the water pump. Other than that, it's been smooth sailing. So as far as my update, it's been a dream. Ownership of a year and some change, year and a couple months, 6 months maybe. I plan on keeping this car as long as I can. The only car that I've considered, that even looking at, was like CT5V Blackwing or CT4V Blackwing, but the Ford, again, it's not, as far as the horsepower numbers, is not as fast. And you know, I don't really care about the stick shift stuff, right? And I'm not taking it to the track and ripping around corners. I'm everyday driving, you know what I mean, with a little, you know, want a little boost in that horsepower. So the CT5, as far as a step up, as far as the luxury, the price compared to its competitors, everything you can get, that's a good deal. But even so, it's like, might as well get Hellcat, right? Hellcat Charger, more horsepower, and now it's not as luxurious as far as like some of the qualities or materials, but is a great bang for its buck, and it looks, in my opinion, it looks better. It just looks aggressive, looks timeless. Appreciate y'all tapping in with me. Until next time.